Thank you for joining us. My name is Tim Stanley, President of Broadstreet Data Solutions. Broadstreet is a Toronto-based data consultancy specializing in business analytics, data integration, data governance, master data management, and overall data solutions. Today we're going to talk about the topic of data governance as it pertains to business intelligence and business intelligence competency centers.
Hi, I'm Deborah Henderson. I'm Senior Data Governance Specialist and Practice Manager at Broadstreet Data.
So Deborah, what makes you an expert in the field of data governance?
I've been working in this field since 2005 in the utility, education, government, and automotive sectors. And I've seen many vastly different implementations of data governance. I've been a SME, I've been a lead, and within that I've taken on the roles of policy writer, process designer, repository designer, strategist, organizational expert. There are many roles in a large data governance project. In fact, the scope can be very large indeed, and a great deal of work needs to be done in a data governance program.
And what do you think are the primary and immediate challenges large enterprise face in managing data today?
There's still too much data and not enough information. There's so many inputs competing for your attention during the day that what you pay attention to is really what your information is. So people will never be taken out of that process. The second challenge is really around the BI tools and their visualization methods and the standards for data integration and interoperability between structured and unstructured data. The standards are still evolving around the world, and methods and techniques are still evolving. The third big challenge is around what is important to the business. And this is changing every year, and you should have adaptable systems and good market research to go into these BI systems.
One of the biggest challenges facing today's leaders on the client side is really about the approach and methodology they should adopt on an enterprise scale. How does your approach and your methodology address or resolve some of these challenges?
Well, data governance is really about all the areas in data management, and so the scope is very broad. A useful list of all the areas in data management comes from the DAMA BICC, or Data Management Body of Knowledge, which has 10 different aspects or functions. There is data design, data architecture, data operations, there's security, reference and master data, BI and warehousing, data quality, metadata management. These are all various functions in data management. So the scope can be quite broad. But once you start listing these out and understanding these functions, then you can bring some control to a very complex area.
So what you're really talking about is an enterprise program. Could you provide an overview of the program you've developed as part of the overall data governance strategy?
Sure. We look at this as 6 different focuses that need to be planned for. The first one, of course, is all around organization. How are you going to organize your data governance across your enterprise to deliver the control that you need in your data management functions? You'll need to decide your accountabilities, your dotted line responsibilities to other organizations, and how you're going to move forward. The next, you need to look at the business context. An environmental scan is very key to knowing where you are now. A maturity model can be brought into play to understand your possible road to improvement. And the capability and capacity analysis of your staff is very key to understanding where you can make effective change right away. You roadmap all that for the future.
That's a very relevant point, and what we see is the challenge of moving from whiteboard to strategy doc to actual execution. Can you give us an idea from a go-to standpoint of some of the critical requirements around people mobilization to staff requirements, behaviors to meet corporate directives of ethics, responsibility, knowledge, and overall professionalism?
Right. Well, communication is key, and that's part of our strategy. But it's not just any old communication. You have to know your audience. A maturity analysis and capability analysis will go far to the engagement, the proper engagement for a data governance program, and be serious steps to implementing data governance. Education on data governance involves both briefings to management and training, specific training for staff of what you're trying to achieve. You must leverage experts as step one in the business, and then map everything to the corporate vision. Their ethics policies generally, and ethics then specifically around handling of data in particular, and emphasizing personal and professional responsibility.
So one of the biggest challenges in the industry is really understanding data governance as it relates to business intelligence. The traditional definition of business intelligence is a little bit nefarious in certain organizations. What is your definition of business intelligence?
Right. Well, if we look to a wiki definition, they say it's all about systems. And of course that's wrong. Business intelligence is a combination of systems, methodologies, techniques, architectures, and of course the data. It's a combination of all of these within an analytic environment where you support decision making. Agile BI is very key today, and reporting outside of a traditional data warehousing architecture. Products such as Endeca provide a dashboard quality analysis environment combining both structured and the unstructured data.